In this video, I will talk about how you can master self-discipline and what can you do every single day to become the best version of yourself. Hi guys, my name is Ahmed and I'm an entrepreneur and an educator, and on this channel I specifically talk about personal development such as self-discipline and traveling. So if you like that type of content, I would really encourage you to subscribe to this channel and hit the bell notification as well. Alright, let's get into the video. So mastering self-discipline is actually living your life according to your values, because your values determine the person that you are today in this world. Most clients of mine and the people I've met in my whole life have actually confused the idea of motivation and self-discipline. Motivation is the action that you do after you have the desire to take the action. Whereas self-discipline, you take the action in spite of the desire. So you do that every single day. It doesn't matter how you feel. And that's why self-discipline and motivation are completely two different things. So the first step is to focus on your identity, the type of person you are. What are your values? What gets you up in the morning? What makes you excited? Write those things down. Make sure that those things are aligned with who you are as a human being. And James Clear talks about this very step in his book, The Atomic Habits, where he says that your identity is dependent on your why you do a certain task. And your values will make you repeat an action over and over again, even if you don't like it. So if I really think of myself as an athlete rather than an average gym goer, I will actually take actions that will make me look like an athlete rather than an average gym goer. So I'll be going to the gym every single day to train rather than going a couple of times a week or a couple of times a month. Step 2 is to set frequent reminders. Our brain has a habit of forgetting. We always forget because we're human beings. Because there's so much going on in our lives, especially in this day and age, it becomes extremely difficult for us to focus. So it's very appropriate for us to actually set loads of reminders and tell ourselves why we're doing a certain task and what's the importance of this task in the long run. And a strategy that has worked for me is to set alarms for every single task that I do during the day. So if I know that I'm going to spend 4 hours working on something, I'm going to make sure that I spend only those 4 hours for that task. Therefore, I will actually set an alarm for it. I even have an alarm to tell me when I need to go to sleep, because sometimes as a human, I get carried away. So if I'm playing games all that time, I know that I am really engaged in that game. I want to carry that on. But allowing and setting alarms on your phone allows you to make sure that you don't do that task for a long period of time. And having these abruptness in your system allows you to stay focused on what you need to do during the day. The problem isn't the fact that you're playing the games. The problem is that you're spending too much time playing the games. You lose the track of time playing those games or doing those activities that are detrimental to you. Controlling your time is extremely important to you. And that's one of the key ways in which you can master self-discipline. And third point is to actually embrace the challenge. Lean into this hardship and resistance. Whenever your mind tells you you can't do this or you shouldn't do this, it's not safe, that's the point when you know that you need to go forward and take a leap of faith. Let your body do the work. And best example of this that I have found in my life is cold showers. Cold showers have completely changed and reshaped how I function in my life and how I actually think. Told myself to embrace the challenge. I told myself, do it anyway. Even if it's hard, so what? And I knew that it was going to hurt, and it did hurt. It was really, really painful. But because I did that consistently, now I feel very comfortable jumping into the cold water and not worrying about how cold the actual shower really is. The next step is targeting the fundamentals. I know that you guys hear this a lot, but eating right, sleeping right, and exercising right is extremely important for you. 8 hours a day sleep I take in my life, and I eat the right food, which is high in protein and less in saturated fats, and I exercise at least 4 times a week. So I would encourage you to do the same, or create a technique that works best for you. More you do those things, more you take care of these fundamentals, it will show to you that you're already a disciplined person. So you can build better habits. And that's my next point, building new habits, building an easier habit. So start off easy, pick something that is easier to build a habit. So for example, if you want to write down a book, probably the best way to do that is to start by saying, I'm going to write a page today and a page tomorrow and a page after that. So it doesn't matter what you write, the act of writing will lead you in the right direction. And focus on one single activity at a time. As humans, we are cluttered with so much information and so many things to do in a day that we don't actually sit down and focus on one task and do it right. So it's very, very important for us to actually focus on one aspect of life and just stay focused on that completely. And this aspect of focusing on a singular activity has been documented in deep work by Cal Newport. And that's where I have adapted that in my lifestyle. So I would definitely encourage you to read that book as well. Another technique that I've found that is extremely useful to me is the if-then technique. An if-then technique basically says that if you do this, then you do that. So you talk to yourself. I do this all the time, that if I get to finish this video, for example, then I get to eat afterwards. So I would really recommend that you should probably emulate if-then technique into your lifestyle as well. That will allow you to become more self-disciplined. Even while making this video right now, I get the temptation that I want to check my phone. Hey, listen, hey.
Check whether that girl texted you back, man. Check how many likes you got on the last post. Come on, pay attention to me, damn it.
No, I'm not gonna let you distract me from my work. So it's very, very important for you to focus on pre-planning your temptations. I know that I will check my phone, so my phone is turned off and it's on airplane mode. And I would recommend that you guys should do the same thing with your temptations. If you think that you're gonna end up eating a lot of food, probably a good idea to not have unhealthy food in your fridge, or be as far away from your fridge as possible. You know, try and work out what your weaknesses are. And that is my next point. Maybe sit down at the end of the day and write down all the weaknesses that you've had during that day. And once you identify those weaknesses, you'll be able to better understand yourself, and you'll be able to better work on yourself every single day and making sure that you don't actually fall into those temptations and fall into those weaknesses. And this does not mean that you don't treat yourself. I always have a reward mechanism. So for example, in these times, I'm actually fasting. So fasting is a way where you don't eat for a lengthy period of time and then you get to eat after the end of your fast, which basically means that you can introduce these rewarding activities in your life. So whenever you do something good, which means something that actually leads you to become a better person, a habit that allows you to become the best version of yourself, then you should reward yourself with small amount of activity that you wanted to do. And these changes will not happen all at once. You will have to work on them day by day. And that's where then my next step comes in, which is to do everything in moderation. I would really encourage you to work on just small aspects of whatever you're doing in your life and slowly reduce the amount of bad habits you do on a daily basis and grow the amount of good habits that you want to adapt in your lifestyle, because that will allow you to become more self-disciplined and more focused in the type of work that you do and type of person that you want to become in your life. One of the techniques that have worked wonderfully well in my life is the fact that I have combined my shoulds and my wants. I will encourage you to do the same. The exercise is actually called habit pairing, where you combine the things that you should do versus the things that you want to do. For example, if I want to watch TV, but I know that I should be eating good food, then I will combine the two habits. I will actually turn on the TV and I'll watch the TV with having a healthy snack. And I've saved best for last, because technically speaking, none of these things will actually work for you if you don't know who you are. So self-realization is extremely important. I would really encourage you to actually look deep within yourself and find out who you are and what kind of person you want to see yourself become one day. Therefore, having a bespoke approach, because none of these points will actually work or apply to you if you don't realize what kind of person you are and what works best for you. So take all of this that I've given you, write everything down and kind of work on what works best for you. Only then you will be able to become a more self-disciplined person. Thank you so much for making it to the end, guys. I really appreciate you listening to me. I hope I made even a small difference in your lifestyle, and I would really encourage you to subscribe to this channel and like the video and hit the bell notification as well, and tell me what are your problems down in the comments below. If you live in the UK and you're looking for a guide on a mentor in your educational journey, I really suggest that you go to www.vitaleducators.com, and it's a platform that I have designed for students to find coaches in their local area. So links are in the descriptions below.